questions. So, where are you guys from originally?
I'm from Madison.
Okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
from Madison too.
Oh, okay. Did you go to Madison Central?
I went to Ridgeland High. So, like,
Okay,
I'm from
yeah.
Ridgeland, but, like, it's so easy
Yeah.
to say Madison. So, yeah,
The
cool.
place that makes you go 20 every
Yeah.
time you pass through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis? Okay, sweet. What year are you guys?
I'm a senior.
I'm a junior. Yeah.
Gosh, neat. Alright. Okay. So, what kind of inspired you guys to, like, create this, like, boy band kind of feel?
The boy band!
Boy
We're
band.
such a boy band, man.
I didn't know what else to call it.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, because in our meeting we were like, well, what are they? And I was like, I think they're like a boy band.
I guess that's not entirely inaccurate, is it? I guess kind of. More of like an indie folk rock type thing, but
Any folk rock boy band.
Less in
But
sync.
yeah.
More-
No, we're basically the Backstreet Boys. I mean, we have choreography and everything.
no, we do
Um,
not.
Well, the project started, I started it during COVID, when like school kind of shut down and I just found myself having a lot of time at home and just wanted to challenge myself to leave with a new skill from quarantine. And so I started songwriting and yeah, I think for me, I viewed it as like a way to have a journal of different seasons of my life.
And then I kind of hopped on the project. When was it? January of last year? Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about January of last year. And I was we were about to record live at the Institute for Southern Storytelling, which was our first
Yeah.
first album
Yeah.
as a band. And we were going to record that, and he was like, "Hey, I need a bassist." And I was like, "Well, I don't play bass, but I can probably learn in about 2 weeks."
Yeah.
And so I learned bass in about 2 weeks, and played on that live album.
Well, and so we met playing worship at RUF together. And I think the first time I played with you, I was like, I want him on my project. And I was like, I don't know how it'll work out, but he's going to be on it somehow. And then kind of at WinCon, you were like, oh man, this is a cool idea that you have here. And
Yeah.
so then it just kind of worked out.
So, like, what inspired, like, the name, like, Broken Halo?
Uh-huh. The Chris Stapleton song, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. We joke that like when our songs come up above his songs, if that ever happens, we've
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah.
What inspired the name? Well, all of the songs are about, kind of correlate to my faith in some way, and so I think everyone kind of feels, from a Christian perspective, there's the idea that mankind wasn't always sinful and didn't always have this brokenness about it, and so all of the songs are about wrestling with like the nature that we were intended to have and then the nature that we do have, and just the really like the tension between those two things. And so I think the idea is to point to the hope of that first nature being restored, but also to meet people just in brokenness and in regretful decisions and stuff like that, and kind of walk with them through those kind of things. I felt like there was a gap in Christians making music.
So, what's the process of, like, creating an album? Like, how do you do that?
That's about a year-long, 2-year-long, 3-year-long process.
Well, I think the next process will be better.
Yeah.
I think so. The first project I did was very much like, it was just very scrapped together. Like, it was from a voice memo, or this guy had reached out to me and was like, I want to make your album. And I was like, okay. He was like, for free. I was like, all right, let's do it. And that just kind of fell through. So I just had like demos he'd put together, and I was like, well, that's good enough for me. And so the first project leaned into, this is very homemade and like not polished at all. The second project, I think the process was really fun in that I got to explore a lot and really also learn everything like not to do the first time around. Because it's like learn a new skill, you just don't know anything. And so I think each song I had the vision for what I wanted it to feel and sound like, and the album Runaway Man takes place in like, as I was making it, this kind of world I've also been working on just crashed into it, and so it takes place in a world, in a time, in a place, and so each song I wanted to feel like you could be in that world, or like kind of basing textures of sounds off of what the textures of the nature would be, and like rocks and dirt and stuff like that. So I think for me the process was I have the vision, I have the feel, I have like the experience I want someone to go through, and it was just a lot of technical try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. And then you want to talk about kind of how we like
Yeah. It was a lot of like Nate had like the album like 90% done, probably 80%.
Looking back,
done?
probably like 30%.
Oh,
Like just
no, it was-
structurally.
I mean, it was there was a lot of work that he'd like kind of laid the ground on, and then I kind of joined the project, and I had like minimal experience in like music production, but
a
I
lot
was
more
kind of
technical
like,
skill.
but I had some technical skills that I felt like I could contribute, and so we ended up going back and re-recording a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of vocals we re-recorded, a lot of we added like real drums. We added that like it was a lot of like going back and like redoing things. But it was, I mean, like Nate said, it's a lot of like visualizing how do you use not just like music, but how do you use sound, how do you use production, how you use mixing and mastering to really like place the listener into like a place in their mind, regardless of how much they know about the world
Yeah.
that Nate's been building. Like, can you put someone in a specific mood or feeling by listening to a song? So
And as far as like where we made it and stuff, like it was made in a lot of different places.
Mhm.
I think I recorded bits of it, you know, a lot of it here, obviously, and then my dorm,
Memphis.
Memphis.
And
We
my
drove up
house.
to Memphis over the summer and worked on a lot of songs. Macon. I want to say some of them were just like, you know, on different road trips and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's a very much like southern, yeah. Really feels that way to me, at least.
Like you were kind of talking about just like how you want people to feel and stuff when they listen to your music,
Mhm.
which kind of goes into my next question of like, how would you describe Broken Halo's sound to someone who's never heard about it before or heard it?
It's definitely eclectic. Like we have stuff that ranges from very like, oh, this is like coffee shop vibe. Like
Mhm.
you could hear this playing in cups when you're drinking a cup of coffee. And then we have stuff that goes all the way from that to like almost like grunge rock almost.
I like Nirvana a lot.
Yeah. So like you've got stuff that's like super light and like super fun, and then you have stuff that's like a really bass heavy, really wordy. Like I don't know. We
Some
have
rap.
a lot of there's
Kind
a little
of.
bit of kind of rap-ish stuff in there. There's a lot of different textures of sound, and I think that was like one of the most fun parts of working on the new album, is that it's like every song has a little bit of a different sound to it. But I would describe this as probably like alternative indie rock. Probably.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think like each album to me that we've made or that I'm thinking about making is like, it's a concept album just around the sound and feel of it. And so I think the rule that I kind of had for this album was, I mean, the idea with the Broken Halos has always been to like take a really folk kind of singer-songwriter foundation and just like bend it in different ways. So I think the palette of this album of you know, kind of electric guitars, kind of grimy electric, pretty bass driven album. That was kind of like, this is the anchor, and then we're gonna see in each song what other elements and genres we can pour into that, but hopefully keep it an anchor so the listener doesn't feel too thrown about, but more like we're exploring different territories of sound. But you know, we've got that core to guide. Yeah, I would definitely say we're kind of like, I don't know what we're like.
Yeah.
I always struggle with that question a lot.
How does being a group of college students shape your music and lyrics?
I mean, we've definitely got a little bit of a homemade sound to us. I think we've over time gotten better at production and stuff like that, but also the fact that like we do our own production and our own mixing and mastering and stuff is to some extent adds to our sound, because you can kind of tell that it's made by college students, and I think that's okay, because I think that's, I mean, we're not ashamed of that, and we're not like trying to hide that. Like, we're people doing this on the side. We're not trying to like make it big in the music industry.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make cool music that people can relate to in the Clinton area specifically and beyond.
I think for me, I've just always had a heart for people my age and feeling like there needs to be someone like they could. I think for me, like, artists and songs kind of give me words for what I'm going through, and so I think for being in college, for this album especially, like, it's a lot about decision making and like kind of starting to choose who you're going to be, and some of the fear that goes into that, and some of the struggle of just like sometimes you can feel kind of invisible, like there's just so much going on and you feel a little bit like worn out from that. So I think from a songwriter perspective, I always know who I'm talking to, and that's other college students, because that's just where I'm at.
What usually brings like the first idea for a song?
Sometimes it's just like one of us sitting down at a piano and being like,
Yeah.
hey, that's like a fun little riff.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I came up with this cool chord progression on guitar. You want to hear it? Maybe you could turn it into something.
I think for me, it's always like a color or a scene, or I think a lot of songs for me start of how would I want someone to feel, like, because I think music kind of puts a feeling to stuff, and so I always think like, okay, what would the scene be, and like what's kind of the emotional like that I'm having during this. Like one of the songs, Sometimes I Cry, on our album, was, my thought was like, it'd be really interesting if there was this kind of guy who maybe inside was really having a hard time, but he's wearing like a really tight black suit. And what would that feel like for someone to be singing that, who's really composed on the outside but kind of has this inner world. So anyway, I think of a lot of like, I don't know, movie scenes and stuff when I'm writing.
Yeah. So where do y'all usually write y'all songs? Like,
In my head.
I would say Nate is really the writer behind things. I'm really more of just like,
I feel like I kind of bring
supporting
stuff to you, and then we're like, what can we do with this?
I would say I can kind of help like refine some stuff, but I'm not.
We also are kind of just about to jump into like more collaborative creating too, because a lot of our collaboration so far has been like, I have almost everything, and then it's like, how do we want to make this come alive? And I think for the next project it'll be a little more ground up.
Yeah,
you and me working on it.
Sure.
I have a notebook. I like Moleskine journals, and all the songs I think for this album, I always start with drawings and writing the lyrics out and just playing the guitar in my room or whatever, and that's where a lot of songs start, I think.
What's a lyric or song that you're like especially proud of?
Oh, that we've made?
Lyric. Oh, Nate, you take point on this one.
You can do it too.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna have to think about this one. So
Obviously, I'm also gonna have to think about this one.
A lyric or song that we're especially proud of.
As far as song, there's a song from our new album called LA that has some really, really good production work, and that I got to put in a lot of work on production.
You did work on that one a lot.
Yeah, and I think it just turned out really well. I think it sounds really professional, and I'm really happy with how that sounds.
Oh, man. The lyric I think that comes to my mind is, I can't remember the song lyric of my own song. But Cowboys Don't Cry.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember the line that
But
comes
Cowboys
before
Don't Cry.
it.
It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
Wait. No,
it's
not
a
right.
God.
It's a God-given thing. It was a God-given thing to find love this true.
Cowboys don't cry, so I will deny I cry for you. I really like that line.
Yeah.
Because to me it just sticks out as like what I like a lot about country music, and just how it can kind of stand on its own. And I like that line a lot.
What's it like performing in front of a crowd?
Oh, because we know so much about it.
All the huge crowds.
Well,
that
I mean,
perform
just
from-
I've played at
performed
church
for
for
some
like
stuff.
years, and
But
honestly,
the band
before
has performed for a few people.
the band has performed,
for a few audiences.
and I've played before I was even here. I've played under the project solo at a couple places. I actually did Runaway Man at this coffee shop in Ohio, and it was awesome.
We, honestly, the biggest performances we have are like up and coming.
Yeah.
We're playing at MC Storyfest later it's next month, I guess.
And possibly
and
Jackson.
then Jackson Indie Music Fest.
I'm waiting to hear back from them still.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
we'll see.
So.
I think for me, I really love it. That's when I think the songs get to come alive, and I really like crowd work a lot. Like, I really like getting people to sing along with me, and that's a moment where you really love your guitar, I think, is when you're playing live. I will say, I don't really like playing outside that much.
Yeah, because y'all
It's just
performed at
sweaty
the Zappa event, right? That was last semester.
Yeah.
as well.
We were there.
I liked that performance. I thought we did good, but
It was hot.
It was hot.
We were, like, my fingers were like slipping off the bass strings, and it was like set up.
That
like,
wasn't
horrible.
great.
It was.
I didn't love that, but I did love that we were all playing and kind of creating some energy. I like the energy that you get from live music a lot.
Yeah.
And to me, it kind of gives me a little bit of a high, like maybe like a runner's high would be. I get this like, oh man, like I'm alive, and this feels really great.
It's really fun to play live.
What are some things that people don't see behind the scenes?
The hours and hours of production that we have done.
The Taco Inganas and the Minecraft.
Taco Inganas. Oh.
There's a great,
There's a really great
taco truck in Memphis that we ate at a lot while we were making this album.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't you like bring it back from Memphis for me once?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, can you bring me some Taco Inganas? We also play a lot of Minecraft, so like it would be a lot of like, let's work on music for 5 hours.
And then play Minecraft.
And then play Minecraft till like 2 a.m. Yeah. And so there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
We have a pretty cool work rhythm, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've made some cool stuff and had some close. One of my favorite memories was like when we almost got like blown up by that ghast.
Yeah. In Minecraft. Yeah.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. Not in real life. We didn't get actually blown
When we
up.
played that awesome show in Minecraft. Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of. There's also a lot of sweat behind the scenes. Like that's kind of something they don't tell you. It's like working in here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of it's hot.
These rooms,
They're
2 people
hot.
playing music in here,
Ugh.
gets really sweaty really fast. So yeah.
I think we should buy a fan.
Yeah. That would be.
You can be our biggest fan and be there for everything.
It's a great idea, actually.
What's like a dream venue that you'd like to play?
Dueling Hall.
Dueling Hall
for
is my
sure.
Dueling Hall's my answer. Which is like,
we
you know,
could
dream
probably
small,
do
but like
it
I would love to
soon if
play
we
Dueling
wanted
Hall
to.
in the next like year. I think
that'd be really fun. Dueling Hall would be great. There's a coffee shop. I think it's called Haven. It's in It's just outside of New Orleans.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
The graphic designer who holds my position, or who held my position.
Yeah.
She graduated it and
What
went to work
town
for
is
me.
it from? Do you remember?
I do not know.
I know.
Yeah.
The girl whose like dad owns it, and I've always thought
It would be cool.
I think that would be cool.
In the near future, there's like a little amphitheater at the Clinton Nature Center. That's
We
really
thought
fun.
that would be really fun to play.
We might play that sooner than later.
As much as we don't like outside stuff, we were like, that would be cool.
That would be really fun.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
really
like
nice
in the
space.
woods, and it's just an amphitheater and then a bunch of seats, and we're like, what if we could fill this up and just have a really cool night of like folk music? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really fun.
we have a lot of we kind of have a lot of
We
ideas.
have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does music mean to you guys personally?
My music's been in my family for a really long time. My grandfather's a professional musician by trade, and his father was a professional musician by trade, and then my mom's a choir teacher. So like music is like very much like in my family. I grew up around it. I kind of grew up singing and playing whatever I could get my hands on. And so for me, it's like something that very much makes me feel at home wherever I am. Like no matter where I am, as long as I have some sort of musical instrument to play or something to sing, I kind of can feel like I'm at home.
I think for me, it's definitely a big way of life. Like, I'm always working on a song, even if I'm not, if that makes sense. Like, I a lot of times feel just like a sponge that's like going through life, and all these things are happening, and then a song comes out. Or sometimes like a song will, like with this album especially, it was really like prophetic for me, where a lot of the songs I wrote them when I was younger and I didn't know what they meant, and I was kind of frustrated because I like to know what my songs mean. Like I like to know I'm very much like a lyricist, and I like to know like every angle of what a word could contribute to it. And a lot of the songs on this I just didn't understand. And then about a year later, I had lived through them, and I looked back and was like, wow, that was I just experienced my song. And we actually had a moment the other day where we were doing something for work, and we were like, this is a very like kind of the message of this song for us. And so I think to me it's a cyclical way of life, music, and it feeds a lot of my creativity, but also like ties it really deeply into my faith and just different places in the world too. So
my last question, where do you hope for Broken Halos to be in a year?
In a year?
I hope to play live a few more times. I hope that we can build a larger enough audience where we can play, like where we could play somewhere, like maybe not Dueling Hall, but somewhere large enough.
Hey,
yeah.
You're gonna make it to Dueling
Maybe so.
Hall.
We can make it to Dueling Hall.
Yeah.
A very empty Dueling Hall. I think, I agree with you. I think live, there's a couple other like avenues that I'm kind of torn of like, oh, what route should we take next? And then there's just also like reality of like, what can you do with how busy you are? Mm-hmm. And so I think one benefit of us kind of doing more stripped back stuff is like, we could probably play live more with less exhaustion after each thing. I think we're in the foundation building. I've always seen this time as like we're really wanting to find our people and find the people who want to be with us, and so I think in the next year I'd like to have grown that a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, that's all the questions I have.